Welcome in, guys. Okay, I'm ready to do the monthly wrap-up. I had an idea. I feel like monthly wrap-ups, as needed as they are, they're a consistent thing, you know? You do them every single month. I love to do them. I love to have them purely for data reasons. And they aren't like super popular videos. Like, to be fair, I've already talked about a lot of these books, especially if we're doing like reading vlogs the entire month. We talk about a lot of these books already. So I can see why maybe you don't want to hear about all the same books again. But I was trying to think what could make them more fun. Doing them drunk. I love to drink. One thing I'm gonna do is drink, okay? I love a good glass of wine. So I am a full glass in, feeling good, feeling fun and flirty, feeling loosey-goosey, and I'm ready to get started. I want to jump into this and talk about the books that I read in October. Hitting the brake and gas, kicking my feet while driving. I've dived. Let's freaking go. The burps are coming. Pretzel break. Let me turn these around. Amazing. Who's ready? My plan is, after each book, almost forgot the disclaimer. I'm back at the Frenchie's house. I'm back dog sitting. So you're gonna hear them. You're gonna hear them grumbling away at the bottom because they love to do that. I've got my wine. It's a Dublin called Carolina Red. It's just a red blend. That's all it is. I did after each book, we're gonna do a hefty chug, okay? So we're gonna progressively get drunker as we go. No, I don't wanna do it. I haven't eaten dinner. I'm going on an empty stomach. I even, this is comical. Today, I was like, you know what? Since I've looked disgusting in the past however many videos, let's look good today. Let's try for this video. Let's really, really wow the viewers. This is the best I could do because my hair was greasy and I wasn't ready to shower or wash it yet. So like I even brought out a blow dryer and I tried to do my hair. No, I have fake tanner on, shocker. It's game day tomorrow. I got a tan for tomorrow. I'm not tanning for today. So the tanner is currently marinating on my body. I have a 2 seconds worth of mascara on my eyes and some blush. That's the best you're gonna get out of me right now. I dove headfirst into the Christmas season. I had Elf on earlier, I already watched it, and I bought a Christmas blanket today. We're ready to get started. All right, the stats for October. I had 8 total books. That's about as average as you can get. Nothing crazy, nothing exciting. I mean, I could have done more, could have done less. I didn't read a book until October 12th, so that's on me. 5 of them are romance. 2 of them were, which is honestly kind of shocking. Definitely meant to read some more thrillers. 2 of them were novellas, and then 1 was thriller. So I did sneak a thriller in there. I had a total of 2,412 pages, so again, nothing really crazy. 4 of those books were audiobooks, which is a lot. I feel like I was driving a lot this month, and I got into the habit of listening to books while I was at work too. So I cranked out some on audiobook. But like 2 of those audiobooks, I was half reading, half doing audio. So it's like I was enjoying them, so I wanted to listen to them on audiobook as well, and I didn't want to wait. 3 of them were physical books, and then 1 I read on my Kindle. The average rating was 3.75, which is a little shocking because I feel like a lot of these were pretty high. But anyways, and then, all right, drum roll, my favorite. I don't know if I like doing that because I don't technically, it's like giving away the books. But whatever. My favorite was Pucking Sweet, which you did already know that I read. And then my least favorite was Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. Shocking. Kind of shocking, but let's get into it. I need a blankie. I feel like the lighting is kind of yellow. I don't know how to fix that, so I apologize. Okay, let's start with a nice hefty gulp. I can already feel it. I can feel it in my cheeks. That's good though. First book was The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. It had to be done. I knew I was gonna read it this season. It's exactly what you expect. It's exactly what you've heard. It is Gilmore Girls in a book. The basic plot, I have a hard enough time remembering plots sober. This is gonna be frustrating. A little drunk. The basic plot, don't ask me names, I don't know. She moves to a town to take over her aunt's cafe, okay? It's like a very small town, Stars Hollow, Gilmore Girls. Her produce person is Logan, who's super hot, okay? And he's got like kind of past relationship issues, so he's not really looking for a relationship. But she's, you know, new girl, hot, funny, sweeps him off his feet, basically, blows his mind. And they just kind of like connect about little things. Obviously, the town like knows everyone's business, so the second they find out there's a new hot girl that's like kind of got Logan's eye, they're on that shit. So they're in your business. They want to keep it secret because obviously they like each other. I'm kind of going off base here, but there's certain like ex issues keeping them from like wanting to be together and like fully being together. She doesn't even know if she's gonna really stay there. He doesn't know if she's gonna stay there. So he's like, there's really no point if she's just gonna leave, that kind of thing. But very cute. That's about all I can say. I gave it, I don't know what I gave things. I gave it a 4 out of 5. That's very shocking. I guess I liked it more than I thought. I think I just really enjoyed the cozy aspect of it. Hey, Frank, go take a nap, please. Can you go lay down for like 20 minutes? Thanks. Back to this. So, having trouble, I really am. There probably shouldn't be a 4-star then if I'm having this much trouble. The end where it's like, is he gonna go get the girl? That scene was so fucking cute. I was giggling in my car, kicking my feet while driving, hitting the brake and gas, kicking my feet while driving, because the scene of him going to get her is so cute. Loved it, ate it up. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a cute little frilly romance. You're gonna get exactly what you think you're going to get out of it. Book number 1 done. That means I have to take a massive gulp. Book number 2. I went right into the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. I gave this one 3 stars because I was under the impression this was another fall book. It is not. Despite the cover, just like you would fully think this was a fall book. Why has no one told me that this takes place in the summer? This is a complete summer book. Like maybe the last few chapters, it like bleeds into fall, but it's a summer book. She is another person in the town. It's the second, obviously, if you don't know, which I feel like you would, it's the second to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and she owns the bookstore in the town. She's having like a she's having I'm about to be in my 30s crisis, and she feels like she didn't really live her life to the fullest. Like she didn't live her 20s to the fullest, which like very relatable for most people in their 20s, okay? So she all of a sudden sees like one of her books is highlighted and like dog-eared, and it is something that's like it feels like a note for her to go do. So she does it. She starts doing the things in the books that are highlighted for her. And this guy, who's kind of like the town player, she thinks it's him because he's had this huge crush on her for a really long time. He's offering to like do them with her. She freaks, okay. Reminder, I'm a little drunk. Let me back up. Okay, so he's this guy who has fun. She wants his help for the last, I think, 6 months of her 20s. She wants him to help her have fun, whether that be hooking up or just like in general, just like having more fun. He, of course, obliges because he's got a crush on her because she's hot. She eventually thinks she's figured it out that it's him leaving the notes. And so she's just developing this crush on him. They're getting closer and like they're getting a little more intimate. It's cute, but it's not fall-y, which is where my rating came down because I was just ready for a fall book. They go through all these things, and one of the last clues has to do with like a big finale type of thing, and she thinks that it's gonna be him. It leads up to her birthday, to her 30th birthday, so she thinks it's him that's going to like profess his love for her. We also just like find out these major things in their lives that just affects how they do relationships, if that makes sense. You know, it gets a little deeper than what they originally planned, and they start to realize that they may actually love each other because they're doing all this stuff. They're falling in love. So it is cute. I wouldn't say it's as cute as the first one. Also on the back it says small town spicy romance. I feel like the term spicy in these romances is used a little willy-nilly, because if there's one sex scene, they call it spicy, and they aren't that spicy, okay? There's a sex scene and whatnot, but it's nothing crazy. Next, we started the readathon. That's all I read before the readathon. And I read, oh wait, I forgot to drink. I'm gonna have to refill before oh, it's right here. We're good. Hold on, pretzel break. No, definitely not. If you've never had Dots pretzels, literally what are you doing? And if you don't have Dots pretzels, sorry. I have a Harry Potter on. I mean, fucking shocker. But I have the first one on and he's getting his wand. Oh, I also cry when I'm drunk. I do. I can't help it. I cry when I'm sober all the time, so like it's just heightened when I'm drunk. Also, God, I keep forgetting the dogs are directly under the camera. One more big sip and I'll go to the next. This maybe wasn't such a good idea because my thoughts are quickly leaving my brain as I get deeper into this. I remember everyone ever sold, Mr. Potter. Butcher and Blackbird. I gave this a 4.25. Okay, I loved this book a lot. I would recommend this book all the time. It's only rated a 4.25 because I feel like there's not too much substance. Like, it's a very easy book to read, you know, like it's nothing crazy. So like the thought of rating this a 4.5 feels silly. I should have, you know what I should have done? Looked at my Goodreads reviews before I started this. My idea was to look up my Goodreads reviews to see like my thoughts a little better. All I said was actually ate this up so much. I think I could have come to that conclusion myself. Thank you. Okay, anyways, so we follow our main girl and main guy. They're both serial killers. The girl's a little more popular than the guy, like, period. We open up with her in this cage with this guy she killed, and we're like, how the fuck she get in the cage? And this other guy comes in, the other serial killer comes in. Did I chug? I don't know, but I'll do one for good measure. The bigger sips are getting harder to do. So she's locked in this cage. She's like genuinely about to give out. She's been in this cage for a while with this dead guy. Serial killer number 2 comes in and he's like, oh, that's so silly. Like, you're stuck in there. And they eventually, now that I think about it, I don't remember what happens to where, I don't know why he gets her out. But anyways, we find out their identities and like they figure out who each other are, and he's like a big fan of hers, and they both kill bad people. Like, they are only killing like really just huge pieces of shit who like and murder other people. So she and him kind of like hit it off immediately. They go like just eat some food and they hit it off. For some reason, I was kind of shocked by this. They make a plan to like have this, I could be remembering this wrong. Not only am I a little drunk, I read this during the readathon, so it's like double drunk in my head right now. I'm doing my best. If I say anything false, I don't care. I don't care. Don't correct me at all. So hold on. They come up with this plan to have one of his friends or brother or someone pick someone bad for them to have like a competition, and it's whoever can kill that person first wins. So I didn't realize when I was reading it, it's a once a year thing. I thought they were like gonna immediately jump into this. The next chapter would be like jump forward a full year. I was like, whoa, you're gonna have that kind of chemistry in a diner and then not talk to each other for a full year? But we do, we jump forward. So it's time for the competition, and it's like they're that whole book is, the whole book's idea is they meet once a year to do this competition. And that's like kind of when they see each other, is just like, you know, when they're with this dead body. On the side, he's a chef. Which, ooh, that's so hot. God, I love a chef. He's a chef and is like opening up a restaurant and stuff. So she has finally realized after like a couple years of doing this game that she thinks about him all the time. You know, she's a serial killer. There's only so many serial killers she can connect to, and she's connected to him. So she has this idea to surprise him and just like go and see him outside of the competition, you know, just go and see him randomly in this year. So she goes, is super nervous, and ends up like not going to plan, and she freaks out and like sees him but leaves really quickly. The tension in the air, it was so good. I could taste it. It was so good. The banter between them when they finally have sex. I mean, I feel like that's not really a spoiler. Obviously, they're gonna have sex. The sex was amazing, okay? Amazing. The overall story was so fun. It was funny. It was super entertaining, like the entire time. Both of their personalities I really love. The way that they both kind of confessed to each other, loved. I honestly didn't really have that many complaints until we got to the very end, and then she like kind of threw in a plot twist that I wasn't expecting at all. So like good on her, because it kind of came out of nowhere. And I don't know how I feel about it, because I first hated it. I was really upset by like the outcome of this plot twist, but we ended up, she could have done it worse. She could have pissed me off a lot more, but she did it quickly, and we had the outcome happened quickly to where we fixed things. I feel like I'm rambling. I do. I feel like I'm rambling. This feels like a drunk ramble, and I hope I'm making sense. Also, I forgot to hold the book the whole time. Really, really liked Butcher and Blackbird. I will say I've heard worse things about Leather and Lark, but I do want to read the next one. I don't know if I'll buy it because I think it's on Kindle Unlimited. I don't really know. I don't. But the whole restaurant thing, it's like I enjoyed the serial killer story, and I enjoyed their story outside of the serial killing as well. Because they like somehow had real lives outside of serial killing, even though they're psychopaths, like a little bit. So I enjoyed it all, really liked it, and the plot twist. I think it's a must read, okay? God damn. I feel like I talked about that for like way longer than I intended. Okay, I'll finish this. Pour another one before I start. My back's hurting. Okay. Pretzel break. Did not mean to finish this whole bottle. I bought another one though. I have 2 bottles in case I needed it. Okay, next I read Pucking Sweet. This was the 3rd and newest book in the Pucking Around series. If you're new here and do not know me, love the Pucking Around series. It is not for everyone. I will say that. It is a polyamorous book that I didn't know I needed in my life, and I needed it. It's one of my favorite series I've ever read. The first one follows this couple of 4. The second one follows the girl's best friend and one boy. It's a regular monogamous relationship. And the third one follows this girl who works with them and 2 players from the hockey team. So the 2 players were like friends, but not that close, honestly, like the whole time. Like they knew each other in the past, and they like claim they were friends, but they weren't really that close. So in the other 2 books, I didn't really like them that much because we didn't really see that much of their like chemistry because it wasn't actually there. We find out that they were friends, but they weren't like actually that close. They just like claimed they were like close. Anyways, so the main girl is our like marketing PR director. She is in charge of making sure the athletes don't embarrass the company. We back up in this book. We go back in the timeline to before like even Pucking Around starts, the very first one. It's a brand new team. So this one guy, Novi, is like the #1 gonna be a headache type of player, constantly in like the paparazzi for having like a shit ton of girls and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because there's a lot. It's a thick boy. This is a romance and it's a thick boy, but like I enjoyed every single page. Wait, what did I rate it? I only gave it a 4, which is kind of shocking. Also, that's my name. She signed it. Thank you, Bailey. She got me a signed book, in case anyone cared. I need to get comfier, sorry. Anyways, Poppy is our main girl, PR director, trying to just like, it's the first year. She's just trying to make it through the first year of this NHL team without any huge screw ups so she can like renew her job and like stay there. Novi is the player, and then the other person in the story is Colton. I'm realizing doing this drunk may have been a mistake because I just ramble a lot when I'm drunk. So, okay. Colton has been in love with Poppy because they knew each other in the past. He's been in love with her for so long, and she has a rule like she doesn't date players. So like he never even tried. That changes when she finally gives in, and she and Colton like kind of have a flirty thing going on, and then she and Novi constantly fight and are at each other all the time because he's the worst rep in all of the team, you know? I need a break. I'm never doing this again. There's just so much sexual tension with Poppy and Novi. And they eventually kind of like lean into it and hook up. and she eventually leans into Colton and they hook up. So then the boys find out and are like kind of fighting over her, and she's like, I'm not gonna choose. It's like, fucking period. As she should. And the guys at some point, they kind of come together and they're like, all right, do you want to do this? Do you want to like date her? Do you want to share her? Do you want to date her together? Because she's not going to pick. And so they're like, I fucking guess. And that just leads to like some fun, like drunk outings where they're all together. And then they just kind of lean into the group dating thing. And it's so iconic. I just love a poly relationship. I fucking do. I love it. And then like you slowly find out that these guys kind of are growing feelings for each other. It just breaks my heart. There's something so special about watching these boys who live their whole life thinking they're 100% straight because of just like, that's how society is. They're just these huge hockey guys, you know, they seem straight, they look straight. They grew up their whole lives thinking, yeah, I'm straight, I like girls. And then watching them realize that they might be attracted to this boy, there's just something so special about that Emily Rath knows how to write. She writes that so well, watching that these boys realize they can like another boy. And like watching them be more comfortable with their sexuality and watching them realize it's okay to not be straight. It just breaks my heart in two. I'm gonna get teary-eyed because of this. I'm moving on. I talked about it too long. I'm moving on. Editing this, I'm gonna be pissed editing this later. I just fucking know it. Okay, it's 6:51. I'm going to a movie. It starts in 30 minutes. I need to like pick it up. Next, I read 2 novellas. I don't have the first one. I read Nick and Charlie. I gave it a 4.5. I read this in my last video, so like I cried the whole time. You can literally watch it. I talk about it a lot in that video, but it's basically just a little novella of the last few months before Nick goes off to college. If you don't know the Heartstopper books, I don't know what to tell you other than go read them and go watch the show because it's fucking amazing. But it's the last few months before Nick is going to uni. And so they just are kind of like in a space where they don't know how to navigate that he's leaving and they're going to be long distance. So it's very upsetting, like revisiting feelings of like just being unsure because, you know, they're 17 and 18, you know, they don't communicate well. They actually, Nick and Charlie, communicate better than most 17 and 18 year olds. Me at 21 didn't communicate that well, so I can't even imagine. But just like watching them love each other so much and being afraid of long distance, that's kind of just what that story is. And then I read this next is Out of Order this winter. This takes place before that. I didn't do my research. Oh my god, I didn't chug on either of those, so I have 2 chugs. Ooh. That was a big one. It didn't look that big, but it was big. All right, that was my first one. So this winter, I didn't know. I gave us a 4 out of 5. I didn't know that this was in season 3. If you've watched the show, I won't spoil, but this whole book is in season 3 of the show. And it's basically just that Christmas Charlie spends after he comes home and he's still kind of struggling and his family, like extended family, doesn't really know how to navigate his eating disorder, and like his mom still is struggling. And it's when he goes over to Nick's place, Tori goes over to Nick's place, all of that basically is this book. I wish I had known that and I would have read that before watching season 3. So I feel like my rating is lower just because it didn't feel as special and I already knew what was happening. But it was still really good. Like I have never felt so connected to 2 little teenage boys in love. I'm so obsessed with those characters. I feel like they have changed me as a person. Stop! I do not know how long they were doing that at the bottom of the camera. I'm so sorry. I'm getting upset. All right, last two. I'll make them quick. I promise. Wait, I had to drink. Next is The Kiss Curse. I read half of this physical book and then had to listen to audiobook to get it to be done quicker. Not that I wasn't enjoying it. It's the second to the X-Hex, which the X-Hex I liked, but not... Okay, actually I take that back. I'm pretty sure I give the X-Hex a 2 out of 5. But I gave this one a 3. It wasn't bad. I would say it is quite literally the most average read that I could ever read. I just don't connect to stories that are like the frilly romances that are under 300 pages. I just don't connect to them. I don't see any real substance. I don't see any real connection. It's very similar to like the Pumpkin Spice Cafe books. The frilly, quick romances, I just don't see myself connecting to them that well. The author is funny, I'll give her that. I love the banter and the humor in both of these books. And Gwen is my favorite character. This follows Gwen, who lives in this little small, like witchy Halloween town type of thing. It's not known that they're witches. They can't just like talk about it. It's a secret to the people who are not witches. And so it's so hard to describe this quickly if you don't know the first one. And the first one, no, I don't want to do it. The brother of the dude in the first one is like, I literally am about to get upset thinking about how hard it is going to be to explain this. And so I'm just not going to. I'm so sorry. The X-Hex is about these two people. The one guy, his like magic, he was the founder of the town, but he didn't live there for a long time and he moved back. This one is about that guy's brother who's like kind of seen as a douchebag and no one likes him. So the main girl does not like him and he ends up moving to the town to kind of like take back their rightful spot as like the town like owners, not really, but like they supply the magic and they want it to feel more like serious magic instead of like the goofy magic that they're running the town with. This doesn't make any sense. If you don't know the plot to this, that doesn't make any sense. And I don't know how to make it make sense at all, actually. So I'm so sorry. But anyways, there's tension because they don't like each other. So it's more enemies to lovers type of trope with this, but like very downplayed because there's sexual tension like immediately. And there's just not that much plot to it. They think that they get hit with a love spell, like a love curse, and they like make out after it, but it turns out it was literally just glitter from like a sex store box. So no curse hit them, they just made out because they wanted to, which is kind of funny. But then they're like, it's built up sexual tension the whole time. They have to figure out a problem in the town. They fix it. She's like slowly losing her magic because that guy's dad is trying to take it away because he wants the town back. It's like huge drama. And then they fall in love and then they figure it out. Big whoop. Moving on. Ugh, last one. Jesus Christ. This is gonna be quick. Alright, last one. Good Bad Girl. I listened to this completely on audiobook. I didn't really like it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to mentally sober up to talk about this. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I do not like a book, I've realized. I do not like books where I'm confused 90% of the time, like on purpose. The author is like giving you information to confuse you the whole book until the end, until you can like figure it out for yourself. I don't like those books. Why am I reading a thriller to be confused the whole time just to have the answers at the end and try to rewire my brain from the beginning? I don't care. It's told from like 3, maybe 4 different POVs. We start out with this woman. She's shopping. She's basically telling you how much she hates being a mother. And then all of a sudden her kid gets stolen out of the like carriage, whatever the fuck you call it, stroller at the supermarket. So then she goes to the police, she's freaking out, the kid's stolen. So this whole time you're thinking, I'm not gonna spoil by the way, but like, whatever. You're thinking that's her kid. We jump so far in the future, so fucking far, to the point where I don't even care. And we're with this woman who says she also lost her kid back like a long time ago. So you're like, okay, who the fuck is this? And who's her kid? And then another POV is a girl, and you're like, is this supposed to be the missing kid who we think is dead or kidnapped and she's just grown up now? Obviously it is, but we don't know who the mom is. So like we have all these different POVs and we're like, is it someone's sister? Is it someone's mom? Like I was so frustrated listening to it the whole time. I hate not knowing. I understand a book that doesn't give you the whole story. Ew, there was a huge bubble in my throat. I hope you heard that. That doesn't give you the whole story from the beginning. Obviously, it's a thriller. You're not gonna have the full story. It's like, for an example, an author who does a good job of this is Riley Sager, especially in The Only One Left. He tells a story where you don't know the full story, but towards the end, obviously, it's like twist after twist, you figure it out. But I'm not angry the whole time. I'm enjoying the story as I'm being told, and then towards the end, something changes, and you're like, oh, that's who that is. And this one, it was confusing from chapter 2 who people were. And I don't like trying to make connections the entire fucking book. It's just exhausting. I don't care enough to do that. The way I'm talking about it, it sounds like it should be a 1-star, but like, sure, it was interesting to listen to. And towards the end, I was like, damn, that's who that is? Shocking. Okay. But just like, it wasn't worth being angry and not knowing who was the whole time, you know? Do you feel me? So, and this is the second Alice Feeney book I've read that I didn't like. I liked Rock, Paper, Scissors. I did not mind that one. I did not love Sometimes I Lie, and I did not love this one. So, and I was really excited for this one. But I think that might be my last one of Alice Feeney for a while. I'll try her out in a little bit because I have more of hers, but that's probably it. But that is my last book. Jesus Christ. Now I have to pee really badly, and I need to go to my fucking movie. But thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if my explanations got a little mumbo jumbo at the end. That was, you signed on for it. For me getting progressively drunker as the video went on, you definitely signed up for it. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you like the drunk reviews better, I'll from now on do my monthly wrap-ups drunk if you would like them to. Oh my god, I gotta pee so badly. Okay, so let me know if you like a regular wrap-up or if you want the drunk wrap-up. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. I do want to point out, I have pretzel in my mouth. I would like to point out for November, just a heads up, the videos are probably going to be sparse in November because I am doing Vlogmas. I'm so excited. This is my first year doing Vlogmas. I'm very nervous. So I'm gonna try and do 1 through 25. I'm gonna try and do all 25 days. I'm very nervous, so bear with me. I'm gonna do my absolute best. But the videos in November are probably gonna be less than usual because I'm prepping for December. So anyways, sorry, I'm squirming, I really have to pee. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.